All right, so if you're watching this video, then you're likely somebody who is posting content on social media and you want to be the authority figure in your niche, but you're struggling to understand what system is going to get you there. And in this video, I'm going to break down exactly that. I want to give you guys everything that we use to help our clients go from profile to profits. There's a really a big misconception in how to build a brand on social media, and I think a lot of people think that it just comes down to going viral, following the trends, and figuring out what is going to, again, be the most trendy thing that they can hop on. And that's not the case. What you really need is intent behind every single thing that you do on your profile, down to how you optimize it. And what I mean by optimization, some of you guys probably haven't even heard that term or exactly put much attention into it because most people don't focus on it, but it's the importance of why your brand is going to be worth following. So before we get into the full system, I'm going to dive into an example of what I mean. This is a client that we worked with, and as you can see here, brand was very incohesive. There was not really a structure behind who he was trying to target or what his brand was even about. None of this was recognizable. He just has CEO of his company and click below for some training that led to a link tree that, people don't have any information on it. What you need to do is start thinking about your profile as a funnel. You need to think about everything as a funnel. When a viewer first sees your page, they're going through your funnel. Starts with the account name, to your bio, to your links, highlights, to the first most recent posts that you have up. The reason why these are so important is because it's only going to take a few seconds for someone to decide, do I even want to see this person again? Most people are going to say no. So I always use this term, how can you increase the stickiness of your fly trap, of your profile? Because you want people to stick and you want them to follow and click that follow button. So the importance goes in the intent. Now, as you can see here, there's a much different a bigger difference in the cohesiveness of his brand. You can tell very clearly that you can actually see what type of content he's posting. You can see his brand colors. You can see that there is structure behind how he is posting. And this is something that a lot of people don't focus on. Even in his bio, we went from having just CEO of a company to actually breaking down his informing statement, his authority statement, and his call to action, his direct call to action. It actually has something to tell him to DM him a certain word to then trigger off an automation, which I won't get into that, and then start their journey in their niche. So it's so much more targeted. As you can see, the profile picture is better. Everything has just been updated to be intentional. So let's get into how you can be intentional. As I was just mentioning, this is essentially the process of when someone finds your profile. They go, find it off of one of these pieces of content that you were putting out. They see your profile picture. Do they like it? No. They're going to leave the page. Do they like it? Yes. Will they follow? Maybe. Then they read your bio. Informing, authority, call to action. This is the bio format that every person should be using if you want to succeed on social media today. So many people do not pay attention to this, but it is very important because this is the first thing that someone really sees when they're learning about you. So you want to be able to give them as much information and show them that you are that person, you are the doctor that can cure their pain as possible. So again, do they like it? No, they're going to leave the page. Yes, then they might follow. Then it goes down to your highlights, links, your content. And then this is where we get into the actual structure of how you're going to turn this attention into profits. So it starts with gaining new followers, right? As you're gaining these new followers, we're going to go into paid acquisition in a little bit, but when you're gaining these new followers, you're going to be getting DMs. You're going to be getting people inside asking you, hey, how do we work together? Do you have any resources? Asking questions. That's the goal, is to create that connection with your audience through your short form content. So whenever they do talk to you, they're already warmed up and know that you genuinely want to help them because you already have through the free content that you're constantly putting out. The way that they'll want to repay you is through their attention, through consuming more of your resources. So you want to just put out as much of them as possible. So as you're gaining these new followers, your profiles are going to be collecting data. Instagram and Facebook are great because those are going to be collecting the data that you can then use to run low cost or high cost, high budget, whatever your budget is, ads to continue to just supercharge this entire process. So as you're getting these new followers, you're going to get two things. They're going to click in your bio and go to your lead magnet, which if you don't have a lead magnet, you need to set one up. I'm going to make another video on this to explain how you can set one up in the most efficient way. But a lead magnet essentially it's the most effective thing that you can use to get leads into your system on autopilot, because you're just giving people free value in exchange for their contact information. So they're going to either do that or they're just going to directly DM you. Either of these two things is going to put them through a qualifying process. And that qualifying process is going to be either a form or you could do it on that sales call, depending on the complexity and depending on how you want to go about your process. So in that form, if you're using Go High Level, you can set up things like conditional logic, where if they don't answer the form the way that you want them to, it'll redirect them into two different directions. So if the person that you're trying to qualify isn't qualified, then you can send them to a page that has a lead magnet. If they are qualified, then you can send them to a page that has a link to book in a sales call. So you see how this process can become automated. And as also another thing to mention is, inside of all of these, we can talk about the follow-up sequences within the emails that you can automate to then just really get your entire process of your marketing down, packed, and you don't have to worry about it. And from there, it leads to that sale. So this is the system broken down very simply. It's the intent that goes behind setting up the profile, and then the magic happens in how you create the brand, how you set up the brand, how you deliver the messaging and connect with your audience. You need to understand, okay, this is this person, this is the value they have, this is how they deliver their message, this is how you deliver your message if you're doing it for yourself. What is the people that I'm trying to reach? What are they going to be most receptive to? And that is how you need to deliver your message. You need to be putting out content as much as you possibly can. If you're not putting out content, then it's going to be a detriment to you overall, because you're not going to be able to reconnect with that audience. So the beautiful thing about content, though, is that it's evergreen. So if you're in a part in your business where you really just can't make content, you're super busy, then that content's never going to go away, and it's constantly going to be feeding your business. But the more that you put out, the better. So that is really the sauce behind every single person's personal branding strategy. But what they don't tell you is how to set up your profile properly and how to define your brand identity. You need to take the time and you need to sit down and figure out, who am I trying to reach? How do I want to try and reach them? And how can I define my brand to be recognizable and set up where it's intentional, so everyone can come through, join your system, join whatever your business is, whatever your program is, with as much ease as possible, as little friction as possible. Every single thing in social media is a game of removing friction. You want to be able to get the person from viewing your content to believing that you are the person to solve their problem, to then going into your system, getting qualified, and then getting a message by you, your appointment setter, or your automated emails to then nurture them and then get them into a sales call. All of this is just to nurture your audience. It's to own your audience and nurture your audience. Those are the two things that you're doing. You can do this in many ways, but building a brand on social media is the by far best way to do it, because it'll be there for the rest of your life. Paid ads, it's great. You turn on a lever and there's so many people that come through. And that's what I've mentioned here. We can run paid ads. You can run paid ads for $15, $20 a day, and you'll get good results with that if your content's performing organically. But the thing is that's something you have to pay for. When you set up organic and you get organic going, it might take longer, but it's going to be so much more beneficial, because now you're getting inbound leads. When you see a piece of content organically, it feels like it came to you. When you get an ad, you feel like you've been sold something, even if it feels organic, even if it is an organic post. So there's benefits to it, but organic it's so powerful when done right. So that is why most of this is honestly me talking and not breaking down this full in-depth system, because it's the concepts and the premises that a lot of people miss out on. I've been in this space since I was 13 years old, and I've seen so many people get started and they expect follow trends, they're going to blow up, they're going to put 30 hashtags in their captions, and that's going to be it. And that's not the case. If you're not following, how is the algorithm updating and what do I need to do to work with the algorithm, then you're not going to succeed. And that's the unfortunate part about it. And I'm not trying to fear monger. I'm trying to show the reality of this algorithm. It's not following dancing trends. It's figuring out what has changed in how SEO works. What has changed in how Instagram registers what a bot is. Do I need to warm up my profile if you make a new one? Yes, you do, because if you don't and you're just posting things, then the whole algorithm's going to think you're a bot. So it goes for all of those little nuances in creating content. Which is why I always recommend, if you're a business owner and you are struggling with this, to find someone to help you with it, someone to guide you with it, someone that this is all they do, this is their focus. Because if it's not your focus, then you're going to be spending way too much time constantly worrying about the social media game and not what you should be doing, which is building your business. So I digress. I want to give you guys some tangible value, so I will put the link to this in the bio. But yeah, I'm going to end this here for good retention. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.